Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're talking about some of the most important, but maybe most overlooked, heroes in your body, your kidneys. We're going to explore some really practical ways you can be their guardian. So let's jump right in.
So let me just kick things off with a question for you. What part of your body is working 24/7, I mean literally around the clock, filtering out junk, balancing your fluids, and basically keeping your whole system in perfect harmony?
And yeah, if you were thinking kidneys, you absolutely nailed it. They are your body's quiet guardians, just humming along in the background, performing these incredible tasks that are essential for your overall health and stability. Now, when we talk about keeping our kidneys healthy, especially if there's already been a little bit of wear and tear, the goal isn't just about damage control. The real strategy here, the big idea, is to be proactive. It's all about protecting the function you have left and doing everything you can to slow down any future decline. And the main concept we're going to dive into today is actually beautifully simple. We just need to lighten the load. I mean, think about it. If we can reduce the day-to-day strain on our kidneys, we give them a much better shot at working well for a long, long time.
So what do we even mean when we say kidney function? Well, picture this incredibly advanced, built-in filtration plant inside you. Its entire job is to process all the waste, all the extra minerals and fluids in your blood, and get them out, all to keep your body in this perfect state of balance.
And you wouldn't believe the daily workload. Seriously, every single day, your kidneys are dealing with waste from your food, leftovers from all your body's metabolic processes, extra stuff like salt and potassium, and they're constantly fine-tuning the amount of fluid in your bloodstream. It's a massive job.
And this is where the trouble can start. Because when kidney function starts to dip, that same exact workload suddenly feels so much heavier. It's kind of like trying to drain a sink with a clogged pipe. The pressure just builds up, and the whole system gets put under a ton of strain.
And this is the really important part, there is some fantastic news. There are really powerful, totally practical things you can do. So let's open up what I'm calling your Kidney Protection Toolkit and look at 9 strategies that can make a huge difference.
First up, and this is probably the biggest tool in the whole kit, managing your blood pressure. See, high blood pressure is one of the top causes of kidney damage because it's just brutal on those tiny, delicate little blood vessels inside the kidney's filters. So what's the number to aim for? For a lot of folks with kidney concerns, the target is going to be somewhere around 130/80, sometimes even a bit lower. It gives you a really clear, concrete goal to talk about with your doctor.
And how do you get there? Well, it's not just one thing. It's this combo of smart lifestyle choices, cutting way back on salt, keeping active, managing your weight and stress levels, and of course, taking any medications exactly as prescribed. Every single one of those helps lighten that pressure.
Okay, next up. For anyone dealing with diabetes, controlling blood sugar is just non-negotiable. A lot like high blood sugar slowly but surely damages those delicate kidney filters over time. So the key actions are constant monitoring, a smart diet, and staying active.
All right, let's talk about a tip that honestly helps just about everyone, cutting back on sodium. Salt makes your body hang on to extra fluid, right? Well, that raises your blood pressure and forces your kidneys to work way harder. Reducing it is one of the simplest, most effective things you can do. So what does that actually look like day to day? Well, most experts suggest aiming for around 2,000 milligrams of sodium a day, maybe even less. A lot of the time, that just means being careful with processed foods and maybe tasting your food before you grab that salt shaker out of habit.
Tool number 4 is all about finding a balance with protein. Now, we need protein, for sure, but breaking it down creates waste products, and it's the kidney's job to filter all that out. A super high-protein diet creates a much heavier workload, so the goal is balance, getting what your body needs without totally overtaxing the system.
Okay, this next one is a huge heads up. Be really smart about medications. You know those common over-the-counter pain relievers called NSAIDs? That's things like ibuprofen and naproxen. They can actually reduce blood flow to the kidneys. If you have any kidney concerns at all, it's so important to check with your provider before taking anything new.
All right, you ready for a quick fire round of powerful lifestyle tips? Here we go. Number 6, stay physically active. And look, this doesn't mean you have to run a marathon. Even just gentle walking, a little stretching, it all helps control your blood pressure and blood sugar, which is fantastic for your kidneys. Number 7, maintain a healthy weight. Carrying extra weight bumps up the risk for diabetes and high blood pressure, which, as we know, are the 2 biggest threats to your kidneys. So managing your weight directly reduces that strain. Simple as that. And number 8 is a big one, avoid smoking.
This one's pretty straightforward. Smoking damages blood vessels everywhere in your body, and that includes the super important ones inside your kidneys. Quitting is honestly one of the best things you can do for your health, period.
And the last tool in our kit is all about monitoring. You see, kidney disease is often called a silent disease because you might not feel any symptoms in the early stages. That's why regular checkups with your doctor are so important. Simple blood and urine tests can track your function and catch any little changes nice and early.
So it's really important to see all of this as a journey, right? Protecting your kidneys isn't a one-time fix. Your approach kind of adapts and evolves over time. Let's take a quick look at how that works across the different stages. So, in the early stages, it's all about tackling those big risk factors we just talked about: blood pressure, blood sugar. Then, as things move into a more moderate stage, those daily lifestyle and diet choices become even more critical to slow things down. And if you get to the advanced stages, care becomes super personalized, all to protect every last bit of function and keep your quality of life high.
So when you boil it all down, the big takeaway here isn't about being perfect. It's about progress. It's about understanding that all those small, consistent choices you make every single day can add up to have this huge positive impact on your health down the road.
And you know, there's this one quote that I think just says it all perfectly. Small daily choices, repeated over time, can make a meaningful difference in supporting long-term kidney health. That's such a powerful and honestly a really empowering way to think about it.
So I'll leave you with this to think about. Looking back at everything in that toolkit we just opened up, what's one small change, just one little step that you feel like you can start with today to help support your body's quiet guardians?